It was only maybe like a 20-minute wait. But I guess when you're a party of one, it's not that hard. I think it's kind of tight spacing here. Oops. Just knock that off. Sorry to Ginger. Bonjour YouTube. For this video, I'm going to show you all the things to see and eat if you only have 48 hours in Montreal, Canada. And if you like what you see, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload new content. Now let's go back to the very beginning. Morning, it's about 4:10 a.m. My flight is at 7:30. I plan on taking the very first light rail, and hopefully we'll get to the airport around 7:30. See, this is how you can tell that way too early for me. I plan on getting there around 5:30. Looks like I could not get my boarding pass on my phone. Air Canada could not read my vaccination card, so they're gonna have to read it when I'm at the airport. So I'm gonna have to go to an agent. Hopefully by the time you guys watch this video, that the whole flight situation won't be as bad. But as of now for us, this is like a post-pandemic, everything comes apart. Flights are expensive, there's pilot shortage, people's flights are getting canceled, delayed left and right. Alright, I'll stop being a negative Nancy. So after getting ready with the usual routine, I have myself some espresso to wake up and then head off to the airport. While there was already a large crowd at SeaTac at 5:30 in the morning, surprisingly it didn't take that much time to get my boarding pass printed and go through TSA. I even had time to do some lounging at the airport and get some breakfast. As a side note is that the club at sea in the S-Gate has been renovated, so the space is much larger than the one from before. I have a video on the different lounges at SeaTac, so check that out in my channel if you are interested. It's finally time to board, so I'll see you all on the other side.
5 hours later.
Bonsoir from Montreal. I have finally made it. Had a slight delay with my flight, but it was relatively not as bad as other people's that I heard. And then when I landed, it was a sea of humanity of people at the airport going through border control. But after going through that, I then took the bus to the city center. But then for some reason, that bus I was on, its route had just kind of stopped halfway through. So I was asked to get off and wait for the next one, then did that, and now finally made it to my hotel. Hotel is nice and cozy. It is not the most kind of like luxurious by any means, but it has all your basic amenities. In terms of observations of just getting here in Montreal for the first time, there is definitely a lot more French influence. You'll see that most, if not all, signage is bilingual in English and in French. And I would say a lot of people that live here use a lot of French. And a lot of them actually speak more French than English. Pardon my French, but I am hangry AF. So for the first meal in Montreal, we're gonna go to Yokato Yokabai ramen. All right. Oof. 1 hour wait, even for a party of one. That's how you know it's good. It's not even a weekend, it's Thursday. Well, the wait ended up not being too bad, maybe about 20 minutes or so, but that's what happens when you're just a party of one. Tight spacing though, but that's fine. You can see surroundings, pretty nice atmosphere. So we got menus here, and then here it's available bilingual. So you got English. All right, stuff I recognize. But then it's very interesting. Then you got the French part. I recognize poulet, which is the chicken, and then chicken teriyaki. Legumes. I think that's pork. So this place is legit, because you know they got these sauces and these condiments. So here's the red pickled ginger. I have no idea what this stuff is. It honestly looks like chunks of pineapple. Then back here we got goma, which is the sesame seeds. And then here it looks like it's just goma seeds in this chili oil. Oh yes, perfect, thank you. Looks great, thanks. Look at that pork belly, ooh yes. Got that nice layer of fat with the meat ratio. Great, I asked for a bunch of green onions and I got it. With the egg and the seaweed. The ramen was fairly on point with the ones I had while living in Japan. Meat, toppings, and noodles were delish, so the broth could have used a little bit more flavor. Enhance our broth by just a little bit. Yes. So perhaps they make the broth a little blander because they expect you to put those other kind of condiments and flavor enhancers. Much better with some chili oil and sesame. After a solid meal of ramen, I walked around town and then realized I should wash it down with some drinks. Hey, this is a good find. So this hidden gem is called Coldroom, and it's a speakeasy, like literally, because when you try to find the entrance, you can't, because it's so discreet. You have to literally ring a doorbell and then wait for someone to come here, and then someone will open the door and then will let you down a couple flight of steps into this sort of like hidden area. Very good drinks, by the way. I don't know what this is because I'm not very good at Francais, but I think there's egg white, probably some sort of a pisco sour, but it's good. After ordering a second yummy cocktail, time to head back, and along the way, just enjoyed how clean and tranquil the streets are here. And that's a wrap for the first night. One of the famous landmarks by where I'm staying is the Notre-Dame Basilica in Montreal, so I definitely check that out before going to this next place. Hi, morning. Good, good. Can I get a cortado? And then also a chai latte, but can you do like a dirty chai, so add espresso? Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll also have the almond croissant. I'll have one of these as well. That's it, and that's for here. Hey, you guys haven't heard of Crew Collective and Cafe before? This is a cafe that used to be where the Royal Bank of Canada was. Now it's a cafe, or it's turned into a cafe, as well as a co-working space. There's also meeting and conference rooms. Sounds a little bit touristy, yeah, but it's actually really cool inside. This cafe is open to the public. Most of the spaces you don't need a reservation, but if you do want to use one of their booths, which are on the sides, then you have to make a reservation. And by the way, happy Canada Day. This place totally gives me bank vibes. It's where the security guard of the bank would sit. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, look at this convention center. We got restaurants and bars here. Super cool, and not to mention this awesome kind of stained glass window situation. Very well air-conditioned building. Oh, cute! You know, you can't really tell from the outside how spacious and wide this building is, but it is spacious and wide. Look, everybody's in line for Tim Hortons. Is it really that good? No. Oh. Here at the Montreal Clock Tower. Very nice pedestrian-friendly area because it's very walkable. You also notice beyond here that there is an island that I'm guessing you can access through this bridge, this highway bridge, but there is a theme park called La Monde, which is a Six Flags theme park. You can see all these roller coasters. And here, I think that's where the Biosphere Museum is. Because my recollection is that it's the shape of like a glass dome. Here on the other side of the clock tower, here it is up here. you'll see that there is this fake beach, but you do have to pay to get in. Never mind, it is free access to the beach. I don't know if it's because it's Canada Day or because it's the weekend, but whatever, it's free. Who can't say no to free? This beach area has much better views than outside the beach area. Here's kind of like a harbor slash port. And then everyone here is sunbathing with the non-existent sun right now. But it's a very cool sort of place to kind of just chill, come on the weekend, and you have a nice view of the clock tower with the Canadian flag. Bonjour.
Vous êtes deux. Si jamais vous voulez, je pourrais vous installer la table juste là, juste le temps de la là, mais sinon il y a l'arrière de petit parfait.
Merci. Okay.
Merci.
Si tu veux filmer, l'arrière.
Filming?
It is, yeah. Hi.
Hi.
You'll be on YouTube.
Welcome to Montreal.
Okay.
Thank you. We feel very welcome.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty cool. We got some live music here with our lunch at Jardin Nelson. So Jardin Nelson, the name Nelson comes from Lord Nelson, who was the one that beat Napoleon all the Napoleonic Wars. Great, thank you. Look at that. Oh, that's so good. Merci beaucoup. All right, first we're going to start with some chicken liver mousse here. I was going to spread some confit on here. Go. Oh, yes. In case you're wondering what kind of confit this is actually onion confit. And you'll notice it's kind of oniony right here. Montreal Courthouse. Well, when you're at the courthouse in Montreal, you just try to see if you can go in. Let's see, that says Entrée du public par la Rue Saint-Antoine. So I think it's saying that the public entrance is on Saint Antoine Street. Never mind, this building is closed on Canada Day, so I told them that I'm a tourist, but they're like, oh, it's closed. Hey guys, super excited to be here at Gibbs. This is one of my most anticipated restaurant meals during my time in Montreal. So this place gets super packed, so I recommend getting a reservation if you can. Otherwise, I don't know how long the wait would be. But anyways, we got a reservation at 8:30, and Gibbs is pretty much a steakhouse with seafood. So this place opened up in 1969. Definitely retained a lot of its original style, so you'll definitely feel a lot of sort of 1970s vibes. Whenever you're at Gibbs, you gotta have their pickles here. It's very tangy, just like any kind of pickles. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of American pickles. I'm more of a Asian style Japanese tsukemono. Awesome, thank you. Roseanne pickles. I'll have the rack of lamb. Medium rare. Their bread is very different here, a lot thicker than most complimentary breads at other restaurants. And at Gibbs, not only do you spread butter on it, but also bacon bits. Goes well with the pickles. Here's an idea. Some bacon bits into the salad. Alright folks, this salad is way gargantuan. I think I'm getting full. Should probably tell them to just cancel my food. Nah, just kidding. Anyways, then got this lemon sorbet, which I was kind of surprised, but in a pleasant way, and I guess it's more of a palate cleanser. Thoughts on the salad, it's a very big portion. It's a little bit surprising because it didn't have as much dressing as I would kind of expect. I don't know if that's a Canadian thing versus my having growing up with American salad dressing, but that was interesting. And then there was the anchovies, which were very salty. I am glad I got them on the side, so I know like how salty they would be instead of just having it all in my salad. All right, so I asked for medium rare for this rack of lamb, and they did deliver, so that's good. The sides, you got some asparagus. I think this is some sort of bell pepper. I think for the lamb here, you got this kind of green sauce. Looks like kind of a chimichurri sort of variation. And then with the potato, they got, it's called Monte Carlo, which is their loaded potato, which I think has like cheese and probably like garlic, and yeah, it all looks really good. Oh yeah, seasoned fairly well. Very tender and soft. All right, let's try some of the steak here. So this is the ribeye, cooked medium rare. Ooh, wow. Very flavorful. Cooked perfectly. Try putting this in some of the chimichurri sauce. It's also good. Yummy. Sorry, I'm one of those people who like my steak that are kind of like mooing. The better the better. It doesn't have to be like super bloody, but I would rather just have it raw than not. Because if it's still too raw, you can always have them put it on the grill a little bit longer. But once it's overcooked, it's kind of like, too bad. Nothing else you can do. Irreversible. Lobster. It's a nice texture. It has like some herbs on it, and it goes well with the melted butter. Here's the aftermath. I think I did pretty well. The only thing I couldn't really finish with the potatoes because there's so much of this. I mean, it was great. It was very well seasoned and it just tastes really good, but there's way too much. But with the lamb, goodbye lamb, done. Everything else, finished. Oh, that was a lot. So pro tip, whenever you come here, do not order any appetizers unless you're only eating appetizers. Just go for the entree, because if you do order appetizers, you will not have any room for the entrees and you'll be in a world of regret. I think it's time for dessert now. So server gave us this dessert menu, and looks like there's a nice variety of it. Didn't really have recommendations, since it seems it really depends on the person and what they prefer. And he just said, go with your heart. Well, honestly, my heart is telling me to put this away because there's no dessert that we can get right now. And with that, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please comment below.